What's up, guys? It's Quinn.
It's Alex.
This is Iconic Comic, and we got another reaction today. But before we get to that, again, I just want to let you guys know about our Patreon account that we just started. It'll be up here somewhere. But if you go to that, you can support the channel monthly, and it'll help us get better quality equipment, and that'll help you get better quality content in the process.
Pay for food, you know, you'll feed us.
No, that is not.
Clothe us.
Just let it, like...
Putting the shirts on our backs.
Every bit of money that goes to that will go straight back into this channel. And there are some rewards that you guys can get if you do that, so go check that out. We're going to do Cinema Wins, I almost said Cinema Sins. Cinema Wins, everything great about Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. Ant-Man was such a surprise.
Yeah, I loved this movie, like, even without seeing stuff like this. Thought it was a very different, like, I feel like they broke the mold. Again, like, Marvel's good at breaking molds, you know, because we saw it with Strange, too. But when did this come out? This came out a while. Last year? I thought it was longer ago.
Last July.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this.
The music.
That's cool. Wait, you knew that.
Original Triskelion, before it gets all blowed up and stuff.
I totally forgot about that. It was the Triskelion from Winter Soldier.
I know this catches some flack for Uncanny Valley, but even since Tron Legacy 5 years ago, this technique has come a long way. And you can never fault the MCU for tying it to their universe and
Or
maintaining
the
continuity.
de-aging, I guess.
Little did Roger Sterling know he'd be dead in 2 short years. By heart attack. Wait, what is it? Right, from Scott's intro we get some expectation subversion. You know how I feel about directors playing with my expectations. Good,
Miss you,
I
Scott.
feel good about it. Is this a cliche prison fight where we get to see some of our scrappy protagonist fighting skills? Nope. This is just his prison exit interview.
How's your girl, man? She left me.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom died too. And my dad got deported.
Lots of honesty.
But I got the van.
But I got the van.
Still optimism. I'm sure this guy's done some great things and is very talented, but he'll always be that one goon that Batman saves from Harvey Dent's coin flip.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was a burn 26 years in the making.
Scarecrow.
I'll be honest. The first look at this tiny
that's not
dude from the
Scarecrow.
archive
No,
was a little underwhelming. But it's
No, it's
absolutely
not.
by design. Almost a nod to the era of the comics that Hank Ant-Man did. I mean, mini guy shooting a 50 cal can only go over so well.
Tales to astonish.
Darren Cross must be a real comic nerd.
Tales to Astonish was the first comic that Ant-Man appeared in. It's called Tales to
Get it?
Astonish.
Because he's short.
I immediately started researching a particle that could change the distance between atoms.
I like that we open right on the pin particle. This MCU film does a number of things.
What makes me
differently that are
laugh is
pretty
when I saw
refreshing
this in the
considering how many
theater,
origin stories we've sat through in the last
everybody
decade.
like went
Jumping
like,
right into the
or whatever
pseudoscience
when the
and
lamb
looking at us
or the
instead
sheep
about it
got
instead of a slow
killed.
build-up to
Yeah.
something we
But no
already
one
know.
did that 2 scenes earlier when he did to a human being.
Man.
Villains need promotional videos too.
The Yellow Jacket was cool.
Evil promotional videos.
Surveillance, industrial sabotage,
Sure, we can steal stuff, slow down your competitors, or just straight murder dudes.
the elimination of obstructions on the road to peace.
But we'll of course talk about it as diplomatically as possible.
Imagine what our enemies could do with this tech.
You don't get it, Frank. We are the enemies. Do I need to run the video again, or... I'm just going to take this moment to say, good for you, Paul Rudd. You deserve every success, and no one could pull off Scott Lang or Ant-Man the way that you do. Judy Greer is always a win, no matter how much Hollywood continues to snub her.
She always just plays like the mom.
Yeah.
Last time we saw Judy Greer, I gave cutest astronomy lesson to young Casey from Tomorrowland. And although we're not learning anything from Cassie, she might be the cutest optimist around.
He's so ugly. I love him.
We can't just do whatever we want.
Well... Don't be crude, kids. But who needs the yellow jacket suit when you've got the glop gun? Turn you to goo gun. It's a win for the MCU that Darren Cross is too self-involved and narrow-minded to develop this pile of goo gun. There it is, pile of goo gun, everyone. I'm not crazy.
Gross.
Right? Nah, I'm good.
Deserve everything coming your way.
Subtlety.
I love that.
Depressing
Yeah.
math lessons. Is this a montage? Sort of.
Those were
Not
the
really.
amazing
They
scenes.
kind of invented a whole new exposition delivery system. And not just any exposition, extraneously hilarious exposition. So I guess, a heist tip montage is the fastest way to get visitation with your daughter. And then a prepping for the heist montage is the fastest way to become Ant-Man. I'm glad they threw that in there, because up until this little Assassin's Creed parkour showcase, I felt like the only thing keeping me from being Ant-Man was the pin particle and the suit. And Paul
Right.
Rudd's work in the books. And sense of humor. But just those two things. Also, that's awesome. Ingenuity, level MacGyver. And surveillance.
I thought we were using mice.
What's the difference?
I know this is supposed to be an ooh, he's so evil moment because lambs are cute and mice are rodents? But
Everyone
does
was
PETA
up
care
in
either way?
arms.
Does it make him more evil to use a
Up
cute
in
animal?
hooves about this
Movies
scene.
that make you think about PETA's opinions on mice are obviously a win. But somehow that stings more than Frank.
Sanitize the workstation, bring in subject 35 safe.
And this time make it a kitten because I'm not sure everyone got the picture. Yep, the use of macro lenses on real sets was the way to go. Most realistic
real
and believable
sets.
shrinking ever.
That's cool.
And it totally makes me want to puke. But in a good way. And they hit a bunch of funny being tiny
I wanna
tropes in
watch
less than
this
3
movie
minutes in
again.
some really entertaining ways. Garrett Morris, the original Ant-Man. Well, on Saturday Night Live at least.
Oh,
And
I didn't know.
censorship. And counting.
Set a camera on an ant? Yeah, sure, why not?
Accepting your reality.
Anthony.
I don't have anything to confirm this, but it seems like they really nailed the sound effects of tiny insects and rodents when you're miniature. I also can't say that I have any idea what it would be like to ride a flying ant, but this feels pretty accurate. Ant security.
I assume that you've already met my daughter, Hope.
I did.
She's great.
Compliments. So, the VistaCorp job must have been right after Mike married Phoebe?
I learned how to change the distance between atoms.
Ah, the one line that created a whole bunch of armchair particle physicists questioning the relevancy of the square cube law, the weight displacement of tanks, and how a full-grown man could ride ants. I have 2 theories. The first is that even though Hank stumbled onto the pin particle, he doesn't really know the intricacies of how it works. It happens in scientific research occasionally, so it's plausible. This is just his best explanation of how it works, dumbed down for Scott. My second theory, and the one I like a bit more, is that Hank has no intention of ever explaining how the pin particle actually works to anyone. So he basically brushes Scott off with something he likely won't question. He kept the truth from Cross as long as he could, so why would he divulge any information at all to Scott, a thief he barely knows?
Are you trying to find my daddy?
Yeah, I am, sweetheart.
Hope you don't catch him.
Yes,
She was
dad.
awesome.
First move should be calling the Avengers. Try and keep this technology
She
out
was
of the
fantastic in
hands
that
of
movie.
Stark. This could change the texture of reality.
Good enough reason as any not to involve the Avengers, especially given Tony Stark's need to steal everyone's secrets.
Listen to me, please.
I'm her daughter.
No!
A little bit of that Hank Pym domestic abuse from the early Ant-Man comics we all love.
Whoa. I wouldn't say domestic abuse.
Absolutely
Like,
object to?
It's not about saving our world. It's about saving theirs.
One thing that Ant-Man does to set itself apart is introduce a second-generation superhero. And in so doing, they give Scott a mentor in Hank. A lot of origin stories are figuring it out on your own, while Scott actually has 2 teachers, including Hope.
You want to show me how to punch?
So Hope uses more of a tough love method.
Paratrichina longicornis, Parapanera clavata, Carpanotus pennsylvanicus.
All kinds of myrmecology lessons. That's the study of ants. I had to look it up. And then spend 15 minutes trying to find the pronunciation. Worth it. Hey, that's Black Widow's move. I feel inclined to mention that
She
most of Hope's
perfected it, I
outfits have
think.
been functional over being revealing. Pantsuits and normal workout clothes. I really think Hollywood is growing up. Oh. But hey, I wish I could get cast as a Marvel hero. Give me an excuse to finally get ripped. Chris Pratt, now Paul Rudd? Of all the magical-ish pseudoscience in this movie, I'm not sure about crazy ants, but there are species of fire ants that actually do work together like this. A failing to become Ant-Man training montage is the fastest way to get shown up by the new Wasp. Or is this a little Red Queen shadowing? Oh!
I mean, it's why I'm in the suit and you're not. You'd rather lose this fight than lose you.
Well, that better be the reason, because Kate was a better thief than you'll ever be, Scott.
I spent the next 10 years trying to learn all I could about the quantum realm.
Trying to bring your wife and the mother of your child back from a subatomic torture dimension is as good a reason as any to be an absentee father.
Doctor Strange. Realms.
This is
oh
awesome.
my god.
Magic.
You know? You guys are breaking down walls. You're healing. I really
Ruin the whole thing.
Introspection. A succeeding to become Ant-Man training montage
makes
is the
deep.
fastest way to make a new ant friend. Who knew running with the ants could be so much fun? Yes, they got one of the least expensive Avengers,
That was
but the
awesome.
presence of Falcon at the new Avengers HQ
Just
is
shoot
one of the
him,
best
like-
tie-ins to the
Made him
MCU
so
solo
stuck
film
up,
so far.
though.
And you've gotta love Scott's self-awareness about who he is and how he really just feels like
Like,
some random
the
guy.
I feel
like they-
because he
sorry,
is,
go ahead.
when
The
Sam
one
is an
line,
actual
yeah.
Avenger. Guys,
It's really
seriously,
important to
Natasha's
me
gonna
the
sue you
cat
for
never
intellectual
finds
property
out.
theft. Or
Yeah.
what? Choreography? Property theft?
Sorry about this.
Apology with. Apology with. Apology with.
He's adding full body scanners to all
Well, they put it in there.
including exterior vents.
Gotta give Cross credit. Closing exterior
Just like
vents
they
isn't
made
something even
Falcon
the
too
Empire
stuck
considered
up.
necessary.
Hank explained the science of the suit to them.
Even more proof that Hank really doesn't
talk
tell
about that.
anyone how the suit actually works. You really think he's going to even come close to the actual science with these goons? Also, he says this.
But all I learned was we know nothing.
I've noticed through this I went from despising you to almost liking you.
You really should write poetry.
Showing appreciation. Think it's unrealistic that Luis could knock that guy out? Remember this?
Still the only one to knock him out.
He's talking about that guy. So this dude didn't even stand a chance. What's funny
Alright,
about this
fair.
scene is that fire ants actually do this. And when they do, it looks more like CGI than this full CGI scene. They actually have an oxygen barrier around their bodies, so none of them drown. I have no idea how it works, but go ahead and Google it.
Wow.
I'll say one thing for Cross. He's nailed the stare at you suspiciously as if I figured out what's really going on look, which would come in handy as a supervillain. Eventually, someone is just going to spill the beans. They don't actually suspect them of anything.
He escapes his jail cell without leaving any clue as to how.
And as crazy as Cross is, I like that he pokes some big holes in Hank's plan. Hey, Hank's a physicist. No one ever said he would be a master strategist.
Wait. I have to be the
Life-sparing fake-out. Is that a 10 rings neck tattoo? Does that mean the Mandarin or Killian are still around? Hey, good thing
You know what?
Cross
I thought
had one
I
of those
saw
special
that
Glocks
neck
with an external
tattoo.
hammer so the ants can stop it. So that's a win, right? Wait, no. Ant-Man running along the slide of a pistol. Such a win.
I
And
love
as
the
tough as I'm
teaser when
sure
they
it is to
showed
make
that,
Ant-Man's
like,
fighting
him in the
techniques
hallway.
believable, they totally pull it
That's
off.
cool.
What is this?
A center for ants! The center has to be at least 3 times bigger than this.
This is Zoolander.
Yeah.
I think that's
Making sure
Zoolander.
you're on the right side.
It's not a keychain.
And now we know for sure that Hank had to have been an Avenger.
That guy.
Saving the innocent.
No.
You
I
had to
hated
go
that
and do
part.
it. You had to make us feel emotion for an ant. Well, I'm taking a win off it. Hey, what the? Yep. Now it's starting to feel like a superhero movie.
Playing Disintegration by The Cure.
Yes. That scene's amazing.
Come on. Not only is this one of the best fight scenes inside a briefcase, but then you score the fight with Plain Song by The Cure? Not to mention, Disintegration came out in 1989, the same year Hank Pym told Howard Stark to shove it. And does anyone else get the feeling that Paul Rudd probably fought for this song?
It's okay.
Reassurance. Well, if he wasn't crazy before. Also, how good is Peter Russo at going nuts? I thought he was only good for Underwood fodder. You'd expect to be burnt out on tiny guys fighting by now, but then they throw the action on top of a high...
A train, like, that's
Whatever.
awesome.
It's amazing and totally engaging. Still gets me.
I love you, Cassie.
Willingness to go subatomic to save your daughter.
We all knew he was
Losing
going
an
to
offended
survive
Empire
somehow.
style.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. And this might be the coolest thing to happen in the MCU. Doctor Strange hasn't happened for me yet, so get off my back, future commenters. And that, my friends, is
just
the
about to say
Wasp,
something.
trapped in the quantum realm. And I may be the first one to notice her reflection on Scott's mask. At least the first to put it in a video. Love this blinking in and out of reality. Maybe through dimension.
What?
And are these strings? Like string theory? Can someone ask Sheldon Cooper? And just for good measure, there she is on the way out. Hugging.
What?
Yes, Hank, it is. Especially given
What?
that they refuse to show Janet's face so they can cast her later. Love. And also, Ant Girl shadowing? Another telephone game montage is the fastest way to get your Stan Lee cameo out of the way.
Crazy
We
stupid.
got everything nowadays. We got a guy who jumps. We got a guy who swings.
And is that the line that made Sony finally be willing to lend Spidey? If so, thanks, Anna Akana.
No, because
Or
this
Edgar Wright.
this movie came
No,
out
Warner-
way
I don't
after
know,
the
there's like
news
18
about
writers
Spidey
in
coming
this
back.
We're
came.
working on it for you.
Generosity. When we all saw the trailer for Ant-Man, we all collectively shrugged our shoulders and said, well, Marvel hasn't screwed up in a while, so it's about time. No way Paul Rudd can carry a film like Chris Pratt. And no way they can make this really silly character grounded in any sense of reality. And I'm sure some
I
of you
can't
are
wait
still
till they
saying
meet.
that. I just think you're wrong.
Paul Rudd and Chris Pratt.
The smartest thing they did was let Rudd
I
take
love
his
that
strengths
too.
while
Oh,
also
that's
letting
right.
him get shredded.
Can you
What's a full-time personal trainer
take
cost?
care of the city
And
for
Michael
me,
Pena
thanks?
was the comedy dark horse.
It's not too often that you rob a place and they get welcome back. Because we just robbed you.
Not
I
that
hope
not
he's
usually
in-
a funny
in
guy, but
Infinity
he stole the
War.
show in a lot of ways. And after Fury and End of Watch, he's really solidified himself as a
Man,
lead actor.
so there was a
Speaking
guy
of
named
first
guy named
impressions,
Thanos,
my instinct
and
when I
he
saw T.I. was
He
to
is
close my
actually a
eyes
good,
and
a good
hoping
actor,
that
though.
he
I
lines.
forget his name.
Michael Pena.
But he totally
Yeah,
pulled out
yeah.
a great performance as a likable and helpful sidekick. Michael Douglas is still
Back
got
it up.
The man can
Back
act,
it up.
and he carries that
Yep,
Wall
just
Street
back
attitude,
it up.
even if that face only exists in the digital world. And he fits right in with the comedy veterans.
I want you to break into a place.
Listen, steal some shit.
This movie managed to combine some amazing action and effects with probably its
Makes
strongest
sense.
feature,
Yeah.
uproarious comedy.
There it is. Bag it up.
Okay. All you gonna do is we just bag it up. Okay?
Just bag it up.
Bag it up.
I mean, this movie might be one of the best comedies from 2015. And then it also had some real
Kinda
heart at the
looks like
center of the
Angry
story.
Joe.
Scott's reason for everything
A
he
little bit.
does is just to be able to spend time with
Yeah.
his daughter. Very relatable. Electrical engineering genius aside, Scott's
love
one of the
that
more
too.
normal guys the MCU
Little
has.
MacGyver scene.
Paul Rudd is truly the perfect everyman, right down to his awe of the Avengers when he meets Falcon. And even though they joke about the Avengers, this film seems to...
Guys,
It's more about the personal conflict.
I don't.
between
What
Cross
is he's like?
and Cross
I
is
don't
about
know.
I don't think
the
it's
villain.
abandoned.
It's all about personal.
Or this
gain
isn't
and
a
conflict,
warehouse.
not world conquest.
You
And
son
after
of a
continent
bitch.
hopping in Age of Ultron, it's nice to have a hero based in one place. I already took a stab at defending
We all
the Pym
freaked
particle
when we saw
explanation,
the
but if that doesn't work.
Avengers.
Like
Like
the
the
big A
realize
on
it's
it.
just movie science. And for the record, if you can accept that Iron Man can survive being knocked out of the sky by a tank shell and not turn to, well, this inside his suit, you should be fine with the science behind the Pym particle.
True.
Not sure what to do about the uncontrollable wind counter. In
Plus,
this
it's a
video,
superhero
although
movie,
he
people.
was right.
Yeah.
The movie achieved something in making us feel for poor Anthony. And really, if a film can make me tear up over an ant, you know it did something right.
And the
And
wing.
that's why Ant-Man goes down as one of the best
forgot about the
MCU
wing.
films in the system.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
I'm an assistant. I'm an assistant. An assistant.
You're doomed.
It's too loud. There's a tank. I can't hear you.
Oh wow.
Man,
I love
the
that movie.
reflection in the mask.
I didn't catch that.
No one caught that, I think.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that was a movie that
I'm
was like,
see. I must be the only one that thought. I was like really looking forward to this.
sorry, hold on. We already watched this. My controller was being stupid.
I was really looking forward to this movie.
See, I wasn't.
I was like,
'Cause I
this
didn't-
is gonna be amazing because I love the character of Ant-Man from the comics. Even though everybody's like, Ant-Man's stupid, blah blah blah. It's not gonna work in a film. I'm so bought in right now. It's like they could announce tomorrow, Marvel Zoolander 3, Terran Time, and I'd be like,
Easy. Easy.
well, I'd be like, you know what? They must have a plan. They must know what they're doing. I trust what they're gonna do.
Well, then there's people like me, I guess, that saw Ant-Man and was like, well, I knew who he was, and Paul Rudd, there's no way. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. But then I saw it, and I was like, well, I have to see it again.
Name one casting that Marvel shit the bed. I can't name a casting where it's
the
just
first
like.
roadie.
Thing is, but for that movie, it worked.
We're a thriller now.
It did. For that movie, it worked.
Yeah, I guess.
But I can't name a casting that's just like, that's bad. That's bad casting.
Me either.
Maybe the only one I could say maybe is Maria Hill.
Yeah, well.
I could use a stronger Maria Hill. All I see is How I Met Your Mother, Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Either way, I don't.
But it's
I don't think she's.
But they also listen to the fans when it comes to casting. So like they'll give you castings where it's like, what? And oh my god, it works. But they also listen to fans where it's like, you know who would make a really good Nick Fury for years? We were saying Samuel L. Jackson. Like he's perfect for Nick Fury, and they casted him, of course. You know who like looks just like Doctor Strange? Benedict Cumberbatch. Well, you know what?
Jared Leto.
Here you go. We'll just give you a little flavor. We'll give you a taste. Oh my god. Like, this movie, I think, was the movie where they just kicked down the door and said, alright, bitches.
Like, we're doing
We
this.
run this show. We run Hollywood now. We can do anything we want. Like,
Alright, Disney.
oh my god.
Is it me or you?
It was me.
Forget, okay.
Yeah. Alright. Let us know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like,
Comment,
share,
and subscribe.
so you guys don't miss a single thing on this channel. We're approaching our 100th video, and we've been saying in the past couple videos, we want to do a Q&A with you guys on our 100th video. So any video from like now forward until our 100th video, drop a question about anything you want, whether it be superheroes, Marvel, DC, any movies,
games, or
video games
about us you want to know.
Yeah.
Q&A time.
Just drop some questions down in the comments, and we'll answer as many as we can.
Or Twitter, Facebook, or email.
Yep. And I think that's it.
Oh, what about this thing right up here?
I talked about it at the beginning of the
Oh, you did? Okay. Don't forget that. Cue music.
Holy Grail.